Everyone, happy Sunday. So back to another week of live videos. Haven't seen you guys since last Monday. Going forward, I will be doing the lives on every Sunday. Then you have Kitty on the Monday, Tuesday, and the lovely Sarah Payne on a Wednesday. And then, of course, this week we've got our bead club on Thursday night, which is mine. We're going to be making some beaded poinsettias. So hopefully those of you who are signed up and ready to go are very excited about it. We're going to be doing that Thursday evening and Friday morning. So you've already had two. Lots of classes, so Kitty's done 4, and I know you've been having great fun because I can see all your comments in the groups and everything. It's really lovely. So good morning. Really miserable weather everywhere by the sounds of it, so anchoring down at home today and making some beaded goodies. So I'm going to show you these beaded rings. They are little beaded cages which really allows you to showcase a special bead, have it as a lovely feature. I should probably take my other one off. I'm going to be using a 0.8mm wire, and I'm going to show you the website as well. A couple of extra things you're going to need, obviously your tools. I've got cutters, round nose pliers, flat nose pliers. I cannot for the life of me find my kit. I think it might still be in the garage from when I've unpacked everything from the car, but I couldn't find it just now, which is annoying. But hey ho. I do also have a ring mandrel that I'm going to use. Now, Totally Beads don't actually sell a ring mandrel. I know lots of you have them because we've done rings in the past. But there are household things that you can find that you can use as well. So things like a wooden mixing spoon in the kitchen, they're really good. I've even had people in classes before using corks. So what we need to do is make the ring 2 sizes bigger than you actually need. So there are... if you go onto like jewelers' websites, you can actually download ring sizes, and it's just a piece of paper with the holes in them, and you put your finger through the hole to find out what size it is. So you can actually then use those and go for something that is cylindrical, that is 2 sizes bigger. So depending on the size of ring that you want, depends on what you're going to find around the house. Sometimes I've seen people use the top of bottles, vase stems, all sorts of things. Start looking around the house and raiding it for round things. I'm going to say good morning to a few of you before I show you the website, because there are some amazing deals. Today is the day to top up on your wire. Now these are 5-minute makes, super quick, maybe 10 for your first one, 10 to 15 minutes just to get the technique right. But honestly, they make the best pieces to sell or to gift, because your materials are so inexpensive. And I'm going to show you, gosh, you would make hundreds of rings out of the beads we've got today. I'm not going to make 100 with you today, but hey ho. Good morning, Alicia. Hi, Linda, Sandy, Dee, Karen, Dean. Good morning, Rachel, Sandy. Got lots of you. Janice says, good morning, Sarah. Windy and wet in Swansea. And you've been on the beach today. Wowzers, you must be drenched through. Earl and I got absolutely drenched on our walk yesterday, but then had a really cosy afternoon. I've been making the wreath behind me, work in progress. And I put a Christmas film on and we just got all cozy in the front room. Good morning, Edward. Hi, Sheila, Brenda, Teresa, Alicia. Love wire wrapped rings. I made some last year. Everyone loved them. They always go down so well. Good morning, Kitty. Kitty's here as well. Good morning. Hi, Shirley, Lucy, Sarah, can I use your beaded flower kits for the poinsettia? Sorry, darling, I did get your message. I saw it last night, and I will reply to you. Yes, you basically can. It's the same components, but different colours, but you would be okay with that. Good morning, Alison. Hi, Joe, Gwen, Carol. Beaded rose kits. I mean, yeah, I've got you, Lucy. I will send you a message afterwards. Hi, Jean. I had a lovely evening last night. I actually had... a catch up. Oh yes, some of you are in the States, and we do our wire by millimetre of thickness, diameter of it, so gauge 22 or 23 as a 0.8. I think that's right. Okay, so website. I'm going to show you this first of all, so that you can go and get your goodies before they go. We are doing an amazing offer on the wire. Now, you do end up using about 40 to 50 centimetres per ring. The spools of wire that we've got are a colour remain, so they are non-tarnish. You get 5 meters on each one. So I would say it's probably enough to make about 10 rings. But depending on the beads that you've got, obviously you're going to need a lot more than that. So we've got it in the champagne, the gold, the peach, the rose gold, and the silver. And then we've got beautiful curved coin beads. Now, for any of you who got your pin necklaces, these rings are going to match those. I think the dragonfly is my favourite. They've got £1 off for them. Now, you've got 70 beads on here, which means you could make 70 rings. Now, we are talking mass makes. Of course, just make sure that you get your wire while it's on offer, because then you can bulk make those as well. And then we've got our cubes as well. So the beads that I'm using, the curved coins, they are 8mm. I'm going to show you those live. And then the cubes, the crystal cubes, just for, I guess, a bit of a more modern kind of take on it. It's going to give you a very different look. They're 6mm. You get 100 beads on there. So you could even be looking at making your rings and then maybe a matching pair of like a stretch elastic bracelet, a simple bracelet, nice necklace, and then rings are just going to give you that extra little lift as well. Okay, so let's have a little look-sees. Super simple to make. I'm going to turn you down so that we can crack on. Why? Oh man. Oh, I know why. Hang on, it's locked. Okay. Woo. For anyone who caught my my resin video last week, I think it was. Man, I had so many technical issues. It was a nightmare. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, okay. Right, so these are the coin beads. They're absolutely beautiful, and you get the most amazing colour from all of the facets. They have multiple facets across the face of them, a beautiful shape from the side, and because they are that little bit flatter, they're going to be ideal for making your rings from. This is the hint of blue. This is the dragonfly. And this one is the champagne, I think it's called. Really beautiful beads. And then we've got, so they're 8mm. And then we've got the cubes as well. So as you can see, you get a very different look. These actually have like a half coat on them. So it's going to be even more sparkly. And these are the rings that we're making. Let me take this other ring off so it doesn't get in the way. So we're going to create these beautiful cages. I just think it showcases the ring gorgeously. We're going to do a little bit of wrapping on the other side. Pop that on. Super comfortable to wear. I know a lot of people have reservations about wearing the wire. Oh, I've said 0.8. Do you know what? I do have 0.8 wire. I'm not using 0.6, but it is 0.6 on the website. 0.6 will be absolutely fine. And you will get exactly the same finish. It's marginal, and actually it's going to be a little bit easier for you to work with. I didn't have any 0.6 wire here, so I've had to go with 0.8. But the two of them would be absolutely fine. No problem. Okay, so when I'm adding these on, I thought I told Simon and Kitty that, but I'm obviously having a sieve head day. So these are the coins. Really, really lovely, 8mm, and they're going to be super easy to work with. So first of all, when it comes to actually sizing up the ring itself, so use your ring mandrel or your little ring sizer to find out what size you actually are. If you do have a ring mandrel, you then take that hole and you pop it onto the base of your ring mandrel, and that's going to give you the exact size of what you need, the circumference of it. And then you want to go one bigger, because by the time we wrap around the edges, it's going to give us a little bit of a more snug finish. It fills up some of that gap. So when I started this ring, it was down here, but now it's going to fit me because it's on the exact measurement. Now there are, like I said, things that you can find at home. Anything cylindrical is going to work for you. Let's do a blue and silver one. I'm going to use the dragonfly, and I'm going to use my silver wire, just because I've been desperate to use these ones. I think they are giving the most amazing sparkle and finish. Kitty's going to have some 0.8mm wire added in, but like I said, 0.6 is absolutely fine as well. It's still going to do exactly the same job. Okay, so first of all, we're going to pick on our bead. So I've got a length of wire. It's about 50 centimetres. I normally just go off of my bead mat, kind of measure it along the outside and give myself a little bit extra. And then onto my ring mandrel, I'm going to sit that bead right in the very centre. And remember, I'm going a little bit lower down. So really I want a 16.5, but I'm going to mold it around the 17. So I'm going to take my wire. Now it's a little bit harder to show you on this, so I'm going to actually take you away from my hands and I'm going to show you on the main screen because it's easier. I've got all this wire poking out. I'm going to put it in the center, so my bead is already on, and I'm going to take it around the back, and then one wire is going to come over the top, and I will turn this down in a moment to show you, and the other wire is going to go around the bottom. And all the time I'm just keeping my finger on that bead and making sure that it's wrapped all the way around nice and securely. Now give me a minute. What I shouldn't have done was put hand cream on before I started this. Slippy beads. Okay, so my bead is in the very middle. I've got wire above it and wire below it. They don't cross over at the back either. That's going to be our lovely band. And then you are ready to start wrapping and creating the cage. So then I'm going to actually bring both my wires together. It just gives you a nicer finish. You could use one wire that's sticking out the side and go around. You could use your other wire and join it up. I actually like to bring both my wires around the top of my bead, and I'm just making sure that I can pull that quite tightly so that I am hugging around the bead. Okay, now don't worry that none of these wires are close together just yet, because when we wrap at the end, we'll be able to neaten that up, and that's going to pull all of those in together. So now I've got this, I'm going to take both of my wires, and I like to make sure that they don't cross over. And where I'm holding it, I've just got a few little kinks. So I'm going to run that through in my hand. If you've got your nylon coated pliers, you can use that as well. And then I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to wrap around the bead. And I'm just going to create this lovely little cage. Now this is where it's personal preference. You can do as much or as little as you want to. You can see the silver is just going to highlight that bead beautifully. You can go further down to give you a wider base. You can even go further up to give you more of a finish. Now I'm actually going to finish here. So I think any more than that, and I'm going to end up with too much wire around my beads. I need one of those pole thingies. What's it called, please? It's a ring mandrel. And it's going to make everything nice and easy for you. But like I said, you could use your wooden spoon out of the kitchen as well. I know that's what Kitty uses. She always says, I don't need a ring mandrel, I've got a spoon. So I've now split my wires again. So I've got one coming out on top, one coming out at the bottom. And again, I'm just going to run that through, give myself a nice little finish. Oh, thank you, Kitty. I think Kitty's just put up a link to a ring mandrel on Amazon. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we are ready to remove our bead from the mandrel and to do our wire wrapping. So that's going to give me my nice base. And this is where, oh, blimey, that's a big old link. Now we are going to do a lovely little bit of wrapping. Now, if you wanted to, you could make the band wider. You could go around the back as many times as you want. Again, it's all personal preference. Have a little play with them. It's inexpensive materials. So you really don't have to worry too much about, you know, wasting them, especially when they are on 5 for 4, I think they are, not 4 for 5. And then I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to get this really nice and tight. So I've just brought this around and I'm using my flat nose pliers to bring this in. And remember, your tools are an extension of your fingers. So if you don't have the grip and the strength in your hands, use your pliers. And I always like to do 3 wraps. And you can see that I'm not holding the band. I'm actually holding the bead and the wrapping at the front, and I've still got that beautiful band around the back. Because if you put your finger in it and you end up holding it, you're going to undo all that lovely moulding and shaping work that we have already done. So I'm going to tighten that up. If you want your coils to be a little bit neater, pinch those in. And I'm just going to pull this last bit a little bit tighter. so that I've got that lovely finish. Now, you don't want there to be any sharper edges on the inside. I'm going to bring that in nice and snug up to my bead, and then you can see you've got a lovely finish. I want it to be nice and snug to my finger without any sharp bits. So up at the very, very top, let me just bring this up a second so I can get it in nice and flush. I'm cutting it so that it sits up on top, so that that sharper edge isn't going to go anywhere near my finger. It's going to be comfortable to wear. And then just like I finish off all of my wire projects, those little nice pincy movements. So I'm pincing my pliers and moulding it around. Wowee, I've actually got the door open through to the conservatory and I can hear the rain. Crazy. Definitely a day to stay at home and just bead. So there you go. I'm going to now bring the cage has just gone a little bit higher than my bead. So I'm just going to lift up and raise that bead before I secure this other side of wire. So any kind of finishing touches and perfecting it is going to be now. There we go. That's better. Nice and up close to the top. Bring this in. And I'm going to, again, repeat that on the other side. So I'm holding on, using my flat nose pliers. And with wire, don't be scared of using it. Camille, it's sunny where you are. No way. Should have taken Curly to you for a walk. What was I going to say? With your pliers, just make sure that it's really nice and tight. I'm bringing this around. And again, I'm going to do my 3, almost 4, because I want that wire to go up to the top. And again, before I secure anything, I'm just going to neaten all of that off. Pull that nice and tight. And again, my finger isn't touching the actual band. I've still got that lovely shape. Nice and flush up to the top. And then little pincy movements to bring that one in. It's probably given me 4 wraps on that side, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. Push that in nicely. And squidge that in. Oh, thank you, Al. Curly, shush. Hold on one sec, guys. Someone at the door. Hold on, guys. Thank you. All right, Curly, come. Shush now. Sorry, delivery. I feel so sorry for him because he's drenched through as well. Okay, so I've pushed this down onto the mandrel, and now you can see where my ring began at 17. Do you remember we made it, Curly, shh, come here. Where we made it 17, now that we've done these wraps around the inside, it actually makes it smaller. And then it is the exact size for me. He's just letting me know someone's there. Curly, come here. Come on, because now everybody's dogs are going to be barking and all the cats will be scared. Everything's fine. We've got it. Thank you. And now you can see that these are going to be gorgeous little gifts. Now, if you want to do little presents for people and you don't know what size they're going to wear, you can actually just ask them to measure the circumference of their finger. Or obviously you can use things like the sizes that you will get from jewellers. That's how everyone's saying good morning to Earl. That's how you know what size to wear when you go and buy your rings. So I know that mine is 16.5 because that fits through that hole. You can actually go onto jewellers' sites. They always do a ring sizing chart. You can download it and print it off. And then of course you know exactly what size you're going to be making. Just always remember to add in that 1 size extra. And as you can see, it just really showcases the beads. When you're using crystal beads like these curved coins, it also really protects the bead itself, because now it's not going to get chipped. The cushion, it's kind of cushioned in and caged in all the way around the outside. Would you like to see another one? Because it is a quick make. Oh, everyone's saying good morning to you now. I can do one in the champagne. So you can see what I love as well is that every single time you make one, they are always going to be a little bit different. It really is personalised and bespoke, and they look handmade, but you've still got a very professional finish to them as well. Okay, Camille says yes, please, so let's do that. So that is, oh, should we do one with the, let's do one with the cubes. We'll get rid of these. Denise says, good morning, I'm able to watch all today. I might, as my cousin, might make my ring, I'm guessing. Does he make jewellery? I'm not sure. I think so. The link I put up for the Mandrel and the ring sizes on it as well for $5.99 on Amazon. Thank you very much, Kitty. Now, remember, you are going to use a lot of wire. So the wire on offer today is 5 spools for the price of 4, which is fabulous. Let me just double check the price. I think it's only £2.50 anyway. Yeah, £2.50. So I'm making... I would say a spool would make you about 10 rings, which means we are using 25 pence worth of wire. And the beads you get, I'm just double checking on the website, you get 100 on your cube beads, and they are £2.50. So the ring I'm about to make you is going to cost you 50 pence. 50 pence and 5 minutes worth of work. Now, they are the kind of maths that I like. And if you also paper craft, or you can get some really nice gift boxes. We have some lovely gift boxes on the website. Putting that in a little box, or maybe even, how posh are they going to feel if you make them a little set of 3? 3 rings, maybe various different sizes if you don't want to give the game away that you're making them a ring, and give a little set where you can put a few in. I think that's amazing, and you're spending like £1. We'll put some money in for the gift box. And I think they are the kind of present, and that's the kind of money that we need to be looking at. Not all of these things need to cost you a fortune. And of course, if you're selling your pieces, then great. Now, I'm not going to do as much wrapping around these. These are a little bit smaller. They are 4mm. Can't believe how quick you made it. Honestly, it's super, super simple. And that's me rabbiting on while we do it. You can also wear rings as pendants together. Kitty, what do you mean? You can wear rings as pendants. Do you mean threading it onto... Do you mean like putting them all together like this and threading it onto a chain? I don't understand. He's a jeweller, said Denise. Thank you. Sorry, I was getting all muddled up when I was reading your message. Earrings to match. Absolutely perfect. So what you would do is get a little ring post. You could do these lovely little cages. Oh, and for scarves. Now, yes, you could. If you made these larger, so forget about your ring mandrel. If you went for something larger, like the top of a wine bottle, or what else? What else would be cylindrical, big enough for a scarf? Top of a wine bottle, maybe around like a smaller candle, candelabra candle. And if you're going to do them... Oh, Kitty says she used to wear her rings on a chain when she was pregnant because her fingers got too fat. I know a lot of people who can't wear that, like their engagement and wedding ring. If you're going to wear these for scarves, which is a beautiful idea, just make sure that your wire wrapping up on the front is on the outside, because of course if you're going to put it onto something like a silk scarf, you want it to be nice and smooth. Obviously you want it to be smooth for your fingers anyway, but just make sure there are no sharp edges. And I'll show you all of that again. Okay, I'm going to use the cubes. Do I want to use a few together? Or do I want to do one? No, I'm going to do one. Napkin rings. Nail polish top. That is perfect, Angela. Absolutely perfect. It is The top of them will be a little bit small, but the base will be absolutely fine. That would be great for a scarf ring. I don't wear rings, but I love the idea of a scarf ring, says Carol. Perfect. And Lorna is saying napkin rings. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm just going to do one just to show you that you can make them really nice and delicate as well. But if you're using smaller beads like the cubes, you could put 3 of them together as well and do it that way. So I'm going to put one in the very center of my wire. And again, taking it one down on my mandrel. And I want the uncoated side of my crystal to be visible. So these are a half coat, which means one side has that very metallic finish. The other side is crystal. Kitty saying a few together and make it in my size, please. I will do that next for you, my lovely. Okay, so bead onto the mandrel, nice and flat, and I've got my visible side showing out. Holding that in place with my thumb. Slippy thumb. Come on. One wire coming up and around the top. And I'm going to make the base of this one bigger. So we're going to go more delicate on the front, but my band is going to be bigger. One wire up and around the top, one wire down around the bottom. And because I've gone, just pulling this nice and tight. You can see then I've got my wires on either side, bead in the middle, band on the outside. And I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit as well. So I'm holding with my left hand, pulling with my right. It's just going to give me that little bit of tension. Reverse that over. And that's going to give me a nice tight finish of the mandrel. Remembering I've gone one size bigger. And then bring you back down. And just make sure your bead doesn't move. So you can see where your bead actually is. You've got that slightly raised section in the center. Holding that bead, I'm just making sure that it's still visible as to how I wanted. Actually, if you turned it around, you're also not then going to see the wire through it. But I don't mind that. Let's have a little look. Okay, and then we're going to come up and around the bead. Now with your cubes, obviously it's going to give you a completely different shape. I'm going to bring those wires together. And actually, I'm going to leave it on the mandrel for this bit. I was a little bit hasty taking that off. Let's go all the way around. Oh, I really like this. I really like it with the cube. That's lovely. And then you've got a square bead encased in a circle cage. I like that. Nice bit of mixing those shapes. Okay, so this wire I'm going to bring back because you always want to finish it with when I'm coming out the side. Well, chef, we had wire gate today. I told Kitty and Simon I was using 0.6, but I've only got 0.8 here. So I'm using 0.8. We do have both of them on the website. If you know you want something, if you're good with wire and you're okay and confident with wire, go for a 0.8. If you want something a little bit easier, go for your 0.6. And then we're going to pop that on. Like so. Okay. Off the ring mandrel, ready to do our wrapping. I absolutely love this ring. I'm going to wear this today. So, keeping that band, holding the bead. Oh, Alicia says, getting excited watching you and doing my own wire work at the same time. I'm making a Tree of Life pendant necklace. Beautiful. Oh, I think some people are asking about the Maker of the Month. Kitty says, hi girls, we have already chosen and Sarah asked me if we can make up a post to go with some fancy writing, but unfortunately our graphic designer was sick last week. Poor Leanne. So that is the first thing on the agenda tomorrow morning. There will be the announcement, yeah. Because we hadn't really done many lives, we wanted to do a nice little post thanking this particular person for all of their commitment in the group, all of their content, their support, their constant contributions to the group. and we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, so wrapping around the outside, I absolutely love this ring. Wrapping around the inside of the band, and again, I'm using those flat nose pliers to pull this up, giving me lovely wraps. Again, I'm not holding the band, I'm only holding the beads. Pinching those in if you want a tighter finish. Oh, why do we stop breathing when we're concentrating? Drives me mad. I was doing some resin last week, and every time I was pouring, I stopped talking. Everyone's going, oh, I'm holding my breath with you. Just pinching that in. I'm taking care to finish this one because this is mine. I am going to wear this one. So I want it to be perfect. Finishing it off nicely. Nice little pincer movements. Oh, look at that. Pretty. Got a tiny little bit sticking out there, so I'm just going to use my pliers to just squidge that in. Might even just trim off a tiny little bit more. Nice. Okay, other side. Up and over. Through that lovely band. Pulling it nice and tight. And you can see that I'm always using my pliers, and I'm encouraging the wire in that same shape each time. Oh, I like this one. Right, I'm going to trim that little bit off. Sorry, I know I'm away from the camera, but my eyes aren't great today. I think I started to tell you a minute ago, but I had a lovely FaceTime and wine with a friend of mine from the old village we used to live in. I think we started at 7 o'clock. We were like, yeah, we'll have a glass of wine and a catch up. Haven't seen her at all this year since we moved, for obvious reasons. And I think we finished at about 11:30. It was super long, so my eyes hurt today looking at the screen all that time. Okay, I'm going to pop this onto the ring mandrel. Now, I know as I was working with this, I was pulling it tighter and tighter. So, come back. I know it has gone a little bit smaller than I needed. So I'm just going to pop it back on and push it down just to reshape it. That's it. And then go down as far as you can and just give it that nice little rework and mould. Oh, hello. Love that. So super easy to create. I actually like it with the smaller bead. I thought the smaller one might be too small, but I think that looks really lovely. I am going to keep that one on today. Lots of you, I'm sorry I've missed on lots of your questions. I'll have a little look afterwards and go through anything. But remember, I'm going to give you a quick look at the website again so that you can go and get all of those lovely materials that you may need. Thank you, Simon and Kitty, for adding in that 0.8 wire as well. Like I said, if you are confident enough with wire that you are good with wrapping, you're happy, go for the 0.8. If you want something a little bit softer that will mould easier, then go for your 0.6. There is something for everybody. So 5 for 4 on all your wire. You've got the champagne, you've got the gold, you've got the peach, you've got the rose gold, and you've got the silver. I've used gold, champagne and silver today. And then, of course, you've got your coin beads, £4. You get 70 beads on each one of these. And then you get 100 of your cubes for £2.50, which is phenomenal. I and my 50p ring are going to be very happy today. Could you use 3 pearls? Could use 3 pearls or beads for eggs in a nest? Yeah, so I've actually seen quite a few little Easter brooches and earrings and rings and all things like that. You put 3 beads in the centre and then wrap around them. You could, of course, do that for your rings and everything as well. prefer the little one too. Yeah, I do, Lorna, as well. Wonder if you could make it in miracle beads. Of course you could, Jo. I know you've got all of those. Could you show how to make one with 3 cubes? Yeah, if we got time, why not, eh? As long as Earl stays nice and quiet. Possibly not. Okay, let's do 3. It's exactly the same concept. Now, I haven't actually made one with 3, so I can't guarantee it's going to look beautiful, but we can give it a go. This is quite a short wire. I might need to add on and recut one, but we'll give it a go. Okay, so 3. What you want to make sure is when you are sizing up your beads, so can you see that these are going to sit and it is wide enough that it is going to cover the front of my finger. If you have much smaller fingers, I wouldn't go for as many because it's going to actually start to go where your fingers will then meet in the middle. So just size that up and just be aware of how they are going to sit. And do you know what? I think actually doing this one with 3, I would wrap in between the beads. I wouldn't be going around them, and I will show you. So just getting that first little wrap. It's a little bit harder to hold on to with 3 beads, but holding them in the middle, getting these over. I'll make you one after this, Kitty, because I haven't got enough wire here to make it too big. Okay, and then wrapping, I'll turn you down. Wrapping it to finish it off. Sitting those beads in the middle. Just making sure they're going to stay in place. How's it going to look if we do a nice wrap? Oh yeah, it'll be all right, won't it? Bringing these together. Now, what I would say is actually I'm going to bring it up and around the beads themselves. Wow, Curly is on one today, isn't he? I'm going to squidge this together. And actually, I would then go in between. So I would go in between so that it's going to give you a little different finish. I think. We'll just do it as a cage then for now. But we did have some wire wrapped rings. In fact, I'm going to make this one, I'm going to do this one in a different way. I'm going to do it in the normal wrapped ring way that I showed you before, because it just doesn't quite look right if you're doing it all along. Okay, let's undo these bits. I'm going to take one to the left, one to the right, just as we did before, like so. Then I'm going to take it off, sitting these beads in the middle. I'm going to secure it in place first, because this wire, if I don't secure it into place, as I start to wrap it, I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to pull that wire up. I can't remember when we last did the wire wrapped rings. I can't remember how long ago that was. But it was basically to match a bangle that we made, a lovely little bangle, to give you a wire wrapped ring. And we wrapped it in between the beads as opposed to actually making like a cage. Okay, so I've gone around it. Now, obviously, I'd already wire wrapped, so my wire does have a little kink in it. I can't do it in the way of the camera, so I'm just going to lift it up. What I'm going to do now is come up and around each of the beads and go on the inside. Now, if you're going to do it this way, I would recommend that you actually made it 2 sizes bigger than you really want. So can you see I'm kind of going around the beads? Make it 2 sizes bigger because you're adding extra wire on the inside of your band. So I'm bringing it around the bead and tightening it up. Now a 6, might be better for us to use the 0.6 as a newbies. Yeah, the 0.6 millimeter wire will give you a much neater finish on this. My 8 is a little bit too thick. So if you want to do extra wrapping in between, I quite like that. It looks like they are set. And then I'm just going to tie this off. You could also then take this side of the wire and wrap going the other way. And I've already kinked this up, so it's a little bit harder, but we can take that one underneath. And the great thing is with wire, it's so forgiving, so long as it holds into place and goes where you want it to go. Not like this naughty bit. I'm just going to pull that down a sec. So long as you can get it to sit where you want it to go, your kind of findings and your workings, your fixings, you can neaten it all up very, very easily. So then that's going to give you a nice little sort of crisscross in between the beads. And my 0.8 is too thick for this one. If you go back, I will go back over the videos and I will have a little look and find when we did the wire wrapping before. We actually used a 0.4 millimeter wire. Sorry, we actually used a 0.4 millimeter wire when we did the softer wrapping. So it's right tools for the right job, isn't it? It's learning how to work with your wire and what is going to hold its shape the best. I mean, that's a bit of a mess, but it's going to give you an idea of how you can do it. And remember, I reworked this, so I had started to wrap it and then changed my mind, which is like the cardinal sin of wire work. Once you're committed, you're committed. These are a bit like the kind of hugs and kisses. If you had round beads in the middle, and crosses around the outside. I'm going to lift you up because I can't do it under the camera. I mean, it's not disastrous. It's still a nice wire wrapped ring, but you need a softer gauge. And there you go. So we've only been going for like 40 minutes, chatted away for quite a lot of that. And we've made 3 lovely rings. Well, 2.5. Got it. And there we go. Just mould that up a little bit more. Put that one on. Oh, thank you. Lorna says the wire wrapped bracelet was July the 5th. There we go. It's not too bad, is it? Nice little band. But if you had your thinner gauged wire, I'm going to put my nice one back on. If you had your thinner gauged wire, then of course you could do that as well. Okay, so love to you all. Happy Sunday. I hope you stay safe. Get creating those lovely rings, tagging us in your post. Do take advantage of the wire offers that we've got on today as well. It's a colour remain, non-tarnish, but do remember, take them off when you're washing your hands, which of course we're doing a lot more at the moment. Keep it nice and dry. Although it is a non-tarnish, just look after it and it will last you well. Wire wrapped ring was the 7th of June. So if you go onto the website, you'll be able to go and find the June projects and go in there as well. If you want to do multiple rings, as opposed to the individual clusters that we had today, then that's where you need to bob off and have a little look. Okay, Kitty tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I will see you on Thursday. Oh, Dee says, bye Sarah, stay safe, see you Thursday. See you then. We do have our bead club from the website beadclub.co.uk. You can pop over there and have a little look. We have, I think our Thursday night is actually full now. We have our Zoom classes. Members, of course, get first dibs, but you can book on to some individual classes if there are spaces. Oh, Kitty says, I tested your bangle with the 1mm wire and I wore it for 2 months straight, even in the shower, and it hasn't tarnished because I've seen it on her wrist. That is the one that I made with some semi-precious beads. I can't remember what beads I used, but we made like a lovely little bangle. So Kitty has been testing it for you. Thank you, Kitty. I will see you Thursday night for poinsettias. I will see the rest of you on Friday morning if you are in there. Kitty's just put up the link. I think we've got some spaces left for Friday morning. If you love wire work, which you know I do, I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and I will see you on here next Sunday at 10 a.m. Lots of love. Bye.